Also joining us this morning from Washington is one of the leading conservative voices in the Senate, Republican Jim DeMint of South Carolina, here to talk about all things on the table, of course, this morning. Senator DeMint, thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Erica.
I think the big question a lot of people have watching at home this morning is, will they see their taxes go up in the new year?
Well, that's the right way to say it. We're not trying to cut taxes on anyone at this point. We're just trying to keep tax rates the same. And it looks like the president has come around to the idea, with encouragement from other Democrats, that we can't raise taxes in a recession. And it doesn't make sense to take money from the private sector and bring it to the government, no matter who we're taking it from. So I think we're going to get an agreement of some kind. I would prefer a permanent extension of the current tax rate so businesses can plan to add people over the next couple of years. I suspect the president is going to push for something more temporary.
You would prefer that? You say he's going to push for something more temporary. Obviously, this ultimatum that was issued by Republicans has had an impact. Would you go with some sort of a compromise there then?
Well, I'll have to see what they put on the table. I have introduced with Mike Pence from the House a proposal to extend them permanently. I've been a businessman most of my life, and I know a business is not going to plan to add 50 people if they only know what their taxes are going to be for the next year or two. So if you really want to get the economy going, we need to extend these tax rates permanently. I don't know how that's going to come out, but this ultimatum, as you call it, is really just trying to get Harry Reid to focus on the priorities rather than all these political votes that he has scheduled. We've got to fund the government and keep taxes from going up, and if we'll do that, then he can keep us here till Christmas if he wants to, voting on some of this other nonsense he's talking about.
A little bit of a standoff on both sides. In terms of the Deficit Commission, which of course Nancy mentioned, the vote coming up, and there's been some meeting of the minds on this. Obviously, not everyone is together on it. What are you looking at going forward in terms of that Deficit Commission? Are there things there that you can be okay with?
Well, this is a process we have to start, and I think we have to get all Americans to realize that our country is in imminent danger of bankruptcy because of the massive expansion of government and the huge increase in debt over the last few years. So
where do we need to make the cuts most immediately?
Well, as I look at this proposal, one of the parts that intrigues me the most is the reform of the tax code, a simplification of the taxes, elimination of all deduction, lowering the tax rates for individuals and businesses. I think this would do more to reduce the debt, improve the economy, and increase employment in our country. A lot of things that we need to do if we would focus on this. There's some other parts of it I don't like, but I want to consider the whole thing. All the details are not out yet. I frankly am very appreciative that we've started this process.
Before we let you go, I do want to touch on this, the START treaty, which is, of course, at play here as well. Some fellow Republicans, some would say, using this arms control treaty as a bit of a carrot to get the tax extensions through. You are not okay with that. Why?
Well, the START treaty is something that should not come up in a lame duck session. There's too much information we don't have. Reports in the last couple of days suggest there have been side deals that would limit our missile defense capabilities.
The State Department, though, has come out yesterday, and they specifically denied any of those allegations, calling them serious charges that are false.
Well, I'm just looking at what we see in the media and on WikiLeaks and the emails that have gone back and forth. But we've asked for the negotiating records and have not received them. So my biggest concern about the START treaty is it accepts parity with Russia, and it, I think, explicitly or implicitly limits our ability to develop missile defense, which may be the most important part of our defense system in the next 10 years.
We will have to leave it there this morning, sir. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.